lot of the DEI rollbacks. I think I was reading that the SNAP benefits could be reduced. Hold on, let me look at my little thing here. So food stamps could be gone. School lunches could be gone in Black schools where they're underfunded and the kids need to go to school to eat. Student loans, Black home ownership. In my opinion, there are a lot of proposed cuts, if you will, that will affect us. The screen says what Black home ownership. While nearly 3 out of 4 white Americans own a home, there's never been a nanosecond in Americans' history when the Black home ownership rate reached 50%. A second Trump administration will continue this trend by dismantling programs designed to increase Black home ownership and ending other uses of special purpose credit authorities to further equity. There's just so many different things. To me, this whole thing that feels like it's trying to take us back to, I won't say slave days. I don't think it's slave days, but definitely like the 50s, the 60s, 70s, maybe. No affirmative action. It's like they're trying to, even just some of the words that they're trying to erase. They're trying to, how do you erase words in the dictionary? How do you decide, how can you ban words? So even that, the fact that you have enough control to ban words, like there's just so much that's wrong with this whole setup.
I need to piggyback on what you said, especially about housing, since you guys know that I do sell real estate. One of the first things that alarmed me in this document, before I even started digging into it, is, of course, I'm going to go to something that I'm professionally doing, is the housing market. One of the first things that they want to do is to get rid of the 30-year mortgage. And we all know that home ownership is already tough the way that things are. But if you get rid of the home ownership piece for 30-year, you're going to look at something pretty major and a big bump. Let me give you an example of this. And then I've got some really good questions for you, Jade, as well. So getting rid of the 30-year mortgage and adding a 20% MIP, mortgage premium, that's what they want to do. Anything over 20 years, they want to add the MIP. If it's over 20 years, here's how this could be a perfect example for you. An average mortgage in Seattle with today's rates is about $4,850. It would go up to $5,640 under the new plan. Now, that's with, of course, Seattle's prices, but I deal with LA and Florida. So that is quite a big jump when you're looking at first-time home ownership. So that is an example of how this would affect us and our minority communities when they're doing first-time home ownership. Jade, how do you think the public perceives the ideas presented in Project 2025?
Well, unfortunately, I think a lot of the ideas in Project 2025 are being downplayed, and specifically in terms of how detrimental this can be to the masses of Black America, who we know has been disenfranchised in many ways and currently continues to be disenfranchised. There's a racial wealth gap, opportunity gaps happening all over America that impacts Black America. Unfortunately, the way that I'm seeing, because I work in media, so I'm doing production for my clients at a very, very high level in media. I'm seeing that Project 2025 is being messaged to Black Americans in two ways. One, that they're using it to fearmonger, or they're calling it, these are fearmongering tactics to get Black folks to vote for the Democrats. Therefore, everything that they're saying about Project 2025 is not true, it's inconsequential, and it's not that serious. Go ahead and, vote red or vote however you want to vote, Black America, but don't let them use this in order to have them bully you into your vote or out of your vote. The other way that I'm seeing it is that, folks are just throwing they're cherry picking specific parts of Project 2025 to appeal to Black Americans to say, hey, Project 2025 is not that bad, because it has certain conservative leaning policies in it, or conservative policies in it that, many Black Americans may agree with, right? Like, there are many Black Americans that actually do agree with some of the immigration policies, like in terms of closing the border, et cetera, getting LGBTQ studies and gender neutral bathrooms out of public schools, for example. And so that is being used to finesse Black folks out of their votes as well. So I think that there's a lot of propaganda around Project 2025, and both the right and the left are using it to their benefits in order to sway the Black vote.
I think those are some very key points. Let's throw some of the comments that we have in the room up, because I think we have some very valid points. Danette says a lot of proposals would require a change in the U.S. Constitution, which is a lengthy process. Yes, it is a lengthy process. However, if you really look at this document, the minute that the conservative president comes in, they will be stripping all power from, because now it's set up where he can do so thanks to the Supreme Court and other things that are happening, that's not going to matter. Our Constitution will still be stripped because now they have the ultimate power. That is not a scare tactic. That is their plan, and that is actually what they're doing. We Wealth Women, we know that's one of our other queens watching and supporting today. Project 2025 looks like Handmaid's Tale and the Hunger Games to me. That it really does. Emma says Trump didn't come up with that, nor does he uphold it. I beg to differ on that one, and I would love to hear. Okay, wait a minute, I gotta add. Erica, what I need to know what your thought is on that comment, please.
Shout out to Emma. Thank you. No, I don't believe this is a Trump thing. I don't think it would be a Biden thing either. I think this is a plan for the higher ups, whoever sits above the president, whom we may never know. I call him the Wizard of Oz. This is something that's going to be implemented regardless of who the president of the United States is. I could be the president and this is going to be implemented. Jade could be the president and it's still going to be implemented. It doesn't matter. This has been a plan. It's been structured. And the strategy of it is to, continue to take away our civil rights, which they have been taken away. We have a huge immigration door that's wide open, and everybody is piggybacking and standing on the soapbox of our civil rights, but we're still on the brunt end and trying to fight for civil rights. We can't even have it. We're still struggling with the issue of affirmative action.